About 13 hours from now, the financial markets will see one of the most momentous occurrences, and in the time leading up to this event, Bitcoin has climbed about 2.9%. Although this should come as no surprise, we shall be concentrating on it extensively. Several altcoins are starting to appreciate as a result of this event, but Bitcoin is still the major attraction among the several cryptocurrencies that have recently had a significant upswing. First priority. Earlier today, the price of Bitcoin reached a height of nearly $976,000.00. It is currently trading at around $97,000.00. I have some concerns because I think a lot of people would try to manipulate the markets by making speculative investments before the event, which could lead to a lot of liquidations. While several alternative cryptocurrencies are about to see big moves on their USD charts, a large number of them are also breaking through important support levels. A fair amount of anxiety builds up in the lead up to the event because a negative judgment usually causes a huge sell-off in the market. I assume you are already up to date on the events I'm referring to, especially those involving the Federal Reserve. Before we go into the decision to cut or keep interest rates, let's take a look at XRP, which has had a small gain of about 2.12%. Here are the results from the last week and month to show how well it has performed. Take a look at this XRP chart. Truthfully, the chart is getting tighter. We expect a big move soon, and a big event is on the horizon. Someone has to wonder if XRP will hit a new top from where we are now, because we are about to reach a crossroads on this chart. How likely is it that XRP will continue to rise beyond its current trend and hit new highs like the one seen in January? My current assessment is that this is highly unlikely to happen because even though I'm bullish on Bitcoin for the rest of the year, I'm looking ahead to the next week with a laser-like intensity. Bitcoin is being keenly watched by me as the event draws near. We are now in a resistance zone, but the daily chart shows a positive increase and the organization seems good. I won't be pleased until we go beyond this point. Our goal is to break through the January highs, especially around the 7th, so we can cross 1,000. To do so, we must achieve 102,000. Bitcoin will have made a significant comeback if it reaches this level. A lot of work still needs to be done, but the market is quite excited. At the moment, we're in a zone of resistance, and getting past this obstacle is our top priority. Notably, XRP and many other cryptocurrencies are preparing for a major change and are expecting a sudden jump. This unexpected development may lead to a sell-off, which could be disappointing news. The reduced liquidity in this market is the root cause of this predicament, which could lead long-term investors to sell their investments. Since Bitcoin accounts for 65.2% of the market at present, a precipitous fall in its value could result from a liquidity spiral caused by liquidations. While we have seen this kind of thing before, this is by far the most extreme case of Bitcoin dominance that we have seen. My apologies for the oversight. In order to do a more thorough examination, I will go back 1 week. This case stands out the most. Since January 2021, the usage of Bitcoin has been monitored, with Bitcoin making almost 65% of the market. We are currently facing a substantial resistance zone. The Federal Open Market Committee, FOMC, meets today. If the Fed makes a market-disrupting decision, it will most likely involve a lowering in interest rates. Because of Bitcoin's present prominence, I think it considerably affects the market for altcoins. If we fail to accomplish that, we will sell off our assets. Assuming Bitcoin's value drops, I foresee this completely dismantling many of the current chart patterns. Take Bitcoin's 3-day chart as an example. It shows a clear market need that the cryptocurrency may meet. At the moment, one Bitcoin is worth somewhere around $88.40 to $93,000, 0 cents. If we see prices fall below this trend line, we may see a drop to 94.5K or 90.9K, which is almost the same as 94K. This would be a major clue that this could be the next decisive step. If you've lost 94,000, you need to look at your daily performance to see how much you lost. If the daily candle closes below 93.7K, it will show us where Bitcoin could go. As we wait for the Federal Reserve to announce whether or not a rate cut is likely in May, we are taking things day by day. Given that the Federal Reserve is almost certain to keep interest rates unchanged tomorrow, 98% chance, the 1.7% of bets on a rate decrease are rather humorous. The retail and BY markets are no exception to this rule. Is there even a remote possibility that the 2% chance could come true? It is highly probable that rates will not change. I am not putting money on the fact that you know right now. I am just saying that the odds are really low. But a reduction in interest rates today would be a major news event, putting an end to pessimistic feeling. As a result, I expect the Bitcoin price to break $100,000, 0 cents. If that happens, and the market would return to a very optimistic position. My main concern right now is the June session, where CNBC predicts a 1/3 chance of a rate cut. Even though Jerome Powell might surprise us with a decision tomorrow, I still think June is the most important month to watch, since the current odds of a rate cut are 31.9%. The exact amount of the BPS drop is unknown, but many predict it will be between 25 and 50 basis points in June. As for me, I'm betting on a 50 basis point reduction. We will have to wait for the results, but a more considerable revision is likely to result in a 31% decrease. I too think today is a watershed moment. Therefore, I'm really interested to see what the Federal Reserve does. Important dates for every stock market. The M2 supply of all the main currencies is something else that piques my attention. It is crystal clear that we need more liquidity. As I have been telling you, the markets are getting too liquid. The most important thing to remember about liquidity is that Bitcoin is highly correlated with it. I've already gone over the relevance of the 4-year trend. Liquidity variations, which usually happen in cycles of 4 years, dictate how the system operates. Because this is so common with Bitcoin, many take